What's up, guys? I'm Adrian Thompson. Welcome to my channel. Typically on this channel, what we talk about is, poverty financing and building yourself out of poverty, because that's where I started from and that's where I'm building myself out of. But I'm kind of in a reaction video mood today. I already shot one video and it's probably on the channel already, but I saw this video pop up afterwards and I suggested and I had to see it. So it's how this 41-year-old doctor living in New Jersey spends her money. I have a feeling that she's going to make a lot of money. I wanted to go to med school. I wanted to be a surgeon, and you do end up making a crap ton of money. And if you do it right, it's definitely financially the way to go. However, based off the averages, if you can get to making $80,000 at a young age, like 24, 25, sometimes it's better off for you, especially with retirement 401k. If you're smart early on, you come out financially on top and you can retire earlier than the doctor, right? So if they work more, they're obviously going to catch up to you. But still, it's a thought to be had. So let's look into this 41-year-old living in New Jersey, how she spends her $1.3 million income. Yeah, no, she makes a lot of money. She made the right choice. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm 41 years old, living in New Jersey. I work as a doctor and I make about $1.3 million a year through practicing medicine and other investments.
That's actually really important what she's just said right there. She said from being a doctor and other investments. I guarantee you a decent amount of her income is from the other investments, and she would not be able to say that she makes $1.3 million a year if that's not the case.
I have about $6 million in savings, $1 million in 401k, $350,000 in a Roth IRA, and $4.6 million in other investment stocks and bonds.
Yeah, those are big numbers. I mean, she's definitely made it, especially at 41 years old. Think about that. I mean, $6 million in savings at 41 years old. Even in New York and California, you could go to Dubai. That's going to be fine. You're going to be perfectly set for the rest of your life. Her Roth IRA is at $350K, so she's probably been maxing that out for a hot minute. 401K has a higher limit on what you can put in. She probably maxes that out too based off of the numbers I'm looking at here. And obviously $4.6 million in investments. She probably has a bank account with 20 grand in it, and she's not going to spend more than that. So, that's perfect. That's right on. She's obviously an intelligent person being a doctor, but financially, she's right on par with her practice.
After taxes, my take home is $75,833 a month. $2,600 a month goes to my mortgage, $600 on average on utilities, and $300 on monthly subscriptions. This includes a gym membership and medical subscriptions.
Think about that, though, how much she's paying in taxes, right? So she lives in New York. They have a high amount of tax, $1.3 million a year, but her take home is $75 a month or $76 a month. So that's roughly, what, $850,000, $900,000. So she's paying almost $500,000 in taxes every year. That's a crap ton. That is a crap ton of money to go to taxes. So in the last video, the rent that the lady making $80,000 was paying was $825, right? So this lady easily makes more than 10x that, but look at her mortgage at only 2.6. Just to go to show you that you shouldn't be spending money proportionally with the raise in your income. Her mortgage, she probably could afford a $7, $8, $20, $30,000 payment a month in housing, and she doesn't. The other thing, her utilities are $600. The other girl who was making $80,000, her utilities were only $500. Like, how does the person making $1.3 million a year only pay $100 more in utilities?
That leaves around $72,333 a month to spend.
Bro, what a good problem to have. What a good problem to have. $72,300 a month to spend. What a good problem to have.
I have no credit card debt and $80,000 in student loans.
See right there, $80,000 in student loans for her. She could pay it off, but her credit score is probably easily 800, 850. It might honestly just be perfect. I guarantee that 80 grand is probably like 1% interest rates, probably less. And her being a doctor, I know there are ways to get it at 0% interest. And with her having $4.6 million in investments, she just has greater returns on her investments. I guarantee you that's why she's not paying that 80 grand off.
And the reason I haven't paid it off is because it's at 1.25% interest, and my very intelligent financial planner said, why bother? I make more money investing that than I do having paid it off and not having that money as a lump sum in the investment portfolio.
Now, keep in mind, she makes $1.3 million a year, right? If you were somebody making less money than that, it might implore you to go ahead and pay off that debt, right? Because she could lose her job right now and retire for the rest of her life. You can't. So if you can, you still have 80 grand out there in debt and you lose your job and you have money in investments, right? They're going to come knocking on the door asking for their paycheck. She could retire, pay all of her stuff back, and be perfectly fine, right? If you're making $50,000 a year, but you still owe, even if it's low interest, let's say you owe $10,000 and 0% interest, go ahead and try to pay it off, because you don't want people knocking on your door, taking up your paycheck with debts, right?
I went through 12 years of schooling. I have a medically related business, and then the money that I have saved up that have yielded investments are the result of my work.
Keep in mind, she makes $1.3 million a year. She just mentioned that she has a medically related business, a lot of doctors do that on the side because you can make $400,000 more a year. I mean, it's smart. That is something, she's a smart female. Like, she's smarter than me, that's for sure.
What I love most about my job is that there is nothing more personal than being somebody's physician. You can walk in a room and talk to them and meet them for the first time, and within a few minutes, they will tell you their deepest, darkest secrets.
I wonder what type of doctor she is, because it doesn't sound like she's a surgeon. So maybe she's a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon or something, because she makes a decent amount of money. Or 12 years in school, so that's probably a specialist. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. She might be a surgeon, but she makes a lot of money even for a doctor. Most doctors only make, $120,000 to $240,000 a year.
The most expensive thing I ever bought, and this may sound strange coming from somebody who is a vegetarian, was a chinchilla comforter after I had gotten divorced.
Oh, she got divorced. So I wonder if she's not paying any money to her husband. So a lot of guys actually get screwed with alimony. I know that's a big problem in the United States. Or she might have just married rich or got rich after she got divorced, but we'll see. Maybe, he messed up and she should keep all of her money. So we're about to go into the statements. I'm interested to see this. I guarantee we see some big numbers. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, spoil the rest of the video. I'll be fine with whatever she spends her money on. She makes $1.3 million a year.
Here's my last statement. And then the United States Post Office, $3.66. I must have been mailing something that needed either certified mail, probably mailing my ex-husband some check for child support or something like that.
I mean, she makes more money. She pays child support. That seems like a small amount depending on how much she makes. I know some people get reamed by child support and alimony, but it sounds like they live with her sometimes too. So
it's my favorite thing to eat there. Then spent at AliExpress $12.79. That was for clothing.
See, this is something I want to point out. So the last video I was looking at the girl making $80,000. She paid more money in clothes. She paid $350 to go see a play, right? This surgeon, this doctor right here, pays less money for the plays that she goes to for $50 versus $300. She's ordering clothes off of AliExpress. That means you're buying it directly from China, right? She makes $1.3 million a year, and she's ordering clothes from AliExpress because she's smart. What she realizes is it doesn't matter how much money you make, right? Just spend it intelligently and it will go so far. And that holds true for most millionaires as well, because they realize that.
AliExpress, $34 for more clothes. AliExpress, $55 for more clothes. AliExpress, for those of you who don't know, is part of Alibaba, and it is an online shop store that is located in China.
I mean, I just want to stress that like so much, right? She shops, makes $1.3 million a year, and she shops from AliExpress. Smartest thing I've ever heard in my life.
And DHgate, that is an online store that's in China. It was $168. One of the things I love to do is design dresses and then have their seamstresses sew it for me. And I wore that dress to a gala that I attended.
If she went and bought that dress off of Main Street in New York, she's paying probably $900, $1,000. And she just got it for $160 because she bought it, she bought the materials and then got somebody to make it. She's smart. Like, I'm taking notes at this point. Like, this is good stuff. Now, I'm confused though. So she has $73,000 to spend. We're halfway through the video. I'm wondering where all this money is going. And she's spending less than the girl making $80,000 so far from what I can tell, right? I guarantee you we're about to get some big purchases dropped in there. Like, oops, I dropped, $40,000 on like a painting or something. Because like, what do you do with that money, right? You're maxing out your savings. You're buying all the little things that you want, but you're still being cheap on that. I guarantee you she's about to just drop some FU money, and it's fine. Like, it's fine. She has $6 million saved up.
I spent $1,195 for a dress, and then another Neiman Marcus purchase for $1,000.95. I bought a gown for a gala that I had to attend. I generally attend probably about 10 or 15 galas a year for various events, usually fundraisers and charitable events throughout the area.
But think about that. She goes to 10 to 15 galas a year. She could buy a $20,000 dress, right? If you go to 10 galas a year, you're talking about spending what, $20,000 on dresses? She has $73,000 of disposable income. She could buy all the dresses at once, $2,000 each, and be set for the year. And she dropped what, a Honda Civic, right? And she's fine. She's fine. It's really impressive. It's something to strive towards.
I donated $100 to the American Cancer Society.
So fun fact, I'm not saying don't donate money to cancer, and it's not. I mean, it's by far not a waste of money. I don't want to say that, but I took cancer biology in college. It's the most funded research in the history of the world. However, statistically speaking, it has done nothing with the progress of cancer treatments. And what I mean by that is in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, I can't remember when, but there was a projection of the amount of people that were going to die by cancer, right? And it was because smoking was such a big deal. And they were saying if we cut off smoking, we'll project that it falls off to a certain amount of deaths, right? So because we're so anti-smoking as a culture now, we've seen that drop off in deaths in a preventative way because we've told everybody to stop smoking. But we've put so much more money into research to fight the other cancers, and we don't see any effect in the amount of people who live. Basically, what I'm saying is we spend a lot of money on cancer research, and cancer is such a hard problem that we haven't figured it out yet.
$106. My laptop had stopped working, so I needed to take it in so I can transfer the old information to the new laptop because I don't know how to do that on my own.
And they charge you $106 for that? That's just what makes me mad. All you have to do is do a time machine backup if you have a Mac, and then you just upload the time machine. It's free. I mean, that's one of the benefits of spending so much time watching on a screen. You understand technology, and all you had to do was go to YouTube. You probably could have figured it out yourself for $106.
If I could give younger women advice, it would be to go to school and get your education. One of the best things I ever did was have financial freedom. It allows me to live the life that I do, which is filled with happiness, choosing whatever I want, and saying no to anyone who disrespects me. I can't say it on camera, but it's the you factor.
I mean, she has a point, right? So if in America, I think now because of the debt crisis or the student loan debt crisis, I think people have a negative connotation towards college, and it's obviously not black or white. I just think people look at it in black or white. If you went to college and you're making $1.3 million a year and the college education, which is what lets you get that, you're not going to go back and tell people not to go to college, right? But also if you're somebody who went to college, maybe you started off on the wrong foot, you made a poor decision to begin with, and now you're $80,000 in debt and no degree to show for it. There are going to be people out there who call you stupid. But at the same time, you can make a stupid mistake at 18. It's up to society to limit how much stupid of the mistake you can make at 18. So I don't think we should be giving people $80,000 who don't know what $80,000 even looks like, or they've never made that in a year in their life. You know, there's bigger questions at play than just saying go to get your education. My opinion, you go to get the cheapest education you can and maximize the return on investment. For me, going to med school didn't make sense because I would have had to take more money out in terms of student loans, and so much so that it would have made sense to me just to go and make as much money as I do now at a young age. That's a little rant, but that's how we're going to end the video. Thank you guys for watching it so far. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. But remember, it may be hard now. It doesn't always have to be. And I'll see you guys in the next one.